Hi there, monetizers. Welcome to Conversations with Hetty. My name is Hetty the Entrepreneur, and I am South Africa's #1 monetization expert. This is a space where we talk about all things online monetization, digital marketing, how to make money, where to put your money so that you don't wonder what happened to your money, and anything that is related to your personal growth and development. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very excited about this particular episode because I am answering the question that I probably get asked the most. How long does it take to monetize? And this is honestly such a difficult question to answer because it's like asking how long is a piece of string? I mean, how much time do you literally have? But I'm going to share some client experiences with you and also go into the different factors that come into play that would impact how long it takes for you to monetize within the online space. All right. And I think it's definitely going to really assist in opening up your mind a little bit. Okay. So before we get cracking, I do want to mention, take a look at my lovely nails. This episode is sponsored by Iconic Nails SA. I'm very, very excited. They are the people that I go to do my nails, my feet, my lashes. They literally take care of me all of the time. So I'll definitely make sure that their details are in the description box so that you can follow them on Instagram and really receive the royal treatment like I do. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? So first of all, you can monetize from day 1 or day 1,000, to really be honest with you. It all depends on where you are in your journey. So the first thing that I want us to discuss is, where are you in your journey? There are people who book a consultation with me and they are at the beginning of their journey. They may not even have social pages, or maybe they only had a personal page where they shared their personal stories and things like that, but nothing quite monetizable. An individual like that, we are obviously starting from scratch. So that could take a little bit longer. Whereas you've got some people who already are in the online space, they've already got an audience base, they've already been monetizing a little bit, but maybe they've reached a ceiling, or they want to look at additional income streams. They want to see where they are leaving money on the table and therefore want our monetization agency to help them in that sense. Somebody like that will obviously monetize a lot quicker than somebody who is starting from scratch. All right, so that's something that I really want you to bear in mind. Monetization is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not an overnight thing. I've worked with clients that have blown up and people are like, oh, overnight success. I've been working with them for 2 years trying to find that sweet spot. So it really is not just an overnight thing. But the quickest guarantee of being successful in the online space definitely is having a strategy and working with somebody that knows what they're doing. Now, the other thing that I want us to start thinking about is, when you want to monetize in the online space, are you starting with a new niche or working from an already established base? What do I mean by that? There are some people that will come to me and they've got a good followership, good engagement, but maybe somebody knows them for fashion. And now all of a sudden they have got a calling and they want to become a life coach. That then has an impact on how quickly they will monetize, because yes, they've got the audience, yes, they've got the engagement, but people are following them for a completely different reason. So that means we then need to be able to look at their audience demographic and say, of this audience demographic, what percentage of those people actually want to utilize your services as a life coach, and what percentage of them are following you because you dress gorgeous and you're showing us the soft life and you are aspirational. So really looking at the niche that you are in and whether you are starting a new niche from the beginning or trying to convert an already established audience to a new niche is going to be another factor that determines how quickly you are able to monetize within the online space. All right. Now, if you are starting from scratch, the other thing that we want to evaluate, and this is what we call in our agency a diagnostics. Because people will say to me, Hetty, I've found a gap in the market. I'm going to leverage this gap. We're going to make so much money. I'm like, great. But is there a market in the gap? Yes, you found a gap in the market and you've seen an opportunity. Is there enough money to be made in that gap? Or is it so niche that there aren't enough people that would be willing to pay you money for it? So in order to also be able to determine if you can monetize on this particular idea that you have, we need to be able to establish how many people would be willing to pay for whatever you are offering, whether it's a product, a service, coaching, consulting, an organization, a personal brand, whatever it may be. It could even be a YouTube channel. How many people are interested enough to watch? How many people are interested enough to take money out of their pocket and to give it to you? So yes, you've identified a gap in the market. Congratulations. Now we need to determine, is there a market in the gap? And this has a huge impact on monetization. A person can come to me and be like, oh, Hetty, I've been pushing and I've been trying so hard. I've done all of your strategies, but I'm not converting. And then when we look at it, we realize that, this niche that you are in, yes, you are passionate about it, but people aren't as passionate about it to be able to actually pay money for it. It's interesting. I had a lady who sells journals that we actually had this conversation. She's like, I'm constantly selling my journals. I'm like, but that's the thing. You are selling a journal. You are not selling a time management hack. You are not selling people being able to buy additional time in their day by being productive and having their ducks in a row. So many people are selling journals. I can go to Typo and CNA and all of these other places and get a journal. So what you are selling is not a journal. You are selling time management. You are selling productivity. You are selling them getting extra hours in the day because they have got all of their things in order. So also being able to articulate what you are offering will help you to be able to get more money out of the gap in the market that you have identified. Monetizers, am I making sense? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if I'm making sense and if any of this is resonating with you. Are you beginning to see why it's not a simple answer to say how long does it take to monetize? Because every single individual situation is different. We don't work on copy and paste strategies. So it's always important for you to know what to expect. All right. Now, the other thing that we want to also be able to look at is those individuals that come to us and they've got a following. I've got 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. So they're thinking, Hetty, work your magic. We should be monetizing by next month. What we need to then do is do an analysis of their audience composition. To do an analysis of their audience composition. And let me explain to you what I mean. There's a lady, for example, who came to us, an influencer, very well known, one of your faves, honey. And she was saying, okay, Hetty, I actually want to launch a premium product. I've got my audience. I've nurtured them. I've been with them for a very long time. They've highly engaged. They comment on all of my posts. So I don't think this should be a problem. I want to just launch a very premium product so that I can be able to monetize my audience. Brilliant. On the surface of it, this looks like a no-brainer. But when we perform the diagnostics, what we've discovered is that on average, this person's audience is within the 18 to 25-year-old age range. All right? So they are mostly young people. people that have just finished secondary school, they've entered into university, and some of them are young working professionals. So that means that their income bracket is quite low. All right, so affordability then becomes an issue. Then the next thing is she wanted to be able to offer this premium product on a retainer. So in other words, it's like a subscription that people are paying every month. Now, that particular income bracket of individuals do not want to have a debit order that is sitting heavy on their shoulder. So yes, she had the audience. Yes, she's got the engagement, but the demographic from the audience analysis showed that that particular audience is not the target market for the product that she is looking to launch. So your audience composition is so important. Absolutely important, because you may end up launching the wrong product to the right audience. So then what ended up happening is that she had two options. Number one, she either needs to start afresh, where we do a strategy to gain new followers which are of the correct demographic for her premium product, which then takes several months of work, which means, of course, she's not going to monetize tomorrow. Or she needs to relook the product offering so that it is cheap and cheerful and something that adds value to her already existing audience, that they would be able to then part with their money. So in other words, because the product would be cheaper, in order to monetize and make it profitable, we would then be working on economies of scale, where we are looking at selling a lot of items so that we can be able to make the money. So the audience composition is very, very important. Yes, you've got the numbers, but is it the right type of people for what you are looking to offer? That has a huge impact on how quickly it would take for you to monetize. All right. Then the next thing that I really want us to look at is how convertible is your niche. So I've been using this word throughout this video, and silly me, some of you may not even know what a niche is. So your niche is, in essence, is your specialization. It's that thing that you are known for. So for example, my niche is monetization. I've studied it, I've worked in it, I've got an agency for it. I'm South Africa's #1 monetization expert. Somebody else's niche might be makeup. Someone else's niche might be gadgets and technology. Someone else's niche might be vlogging or singing or being an accountant or a lawyer. So whatever your specialization is, that thing that you are known for, that is your niche. Now, not all niches are created equal. I must be honest with you. Some niches are harder to monetize than others. So when a person comes to us with their niche, we then need to determine, is this an easily monetizable niche? Some niches are very, very easy to monetize. You start because there is such a high demand and need for what it is that you are offering or that type of content. It's so much easier to monetize. Let me use YouTube, for example. People that do things like songs and music, if that song blows up, you're going to monetize it over and over again, because just from the ad revenue alone, when people keep watching that song over and over again, you make good money. Content on YouTube that is good and made for kids, where kids love to watch, cartoons and things like that, you make a lot of money from that. Why is that? The reason is, when a child loves a particular thing, let's say Peppa Pig, for example, they're going to cry and want to watch it every single day. And that impacts your views, your watch time, and all of that. Go and research this yourself. The most watched videos on YouTube are those. Also cooking videos, because once you've cooked something, you need to rewind and go back and see how they did it. And that all increases to the views. So there's certain things very, very easy to monetize. But there are other niches that are not as easy to monetize. And so because it's not as easy to monetize, either because there isn't a lot of information about it, Or in order to monetize, you need to educate your audience. So even if I use myself, for example, when I started out teaching monetization, you won't believe how many people ask me, what is monetization? So I had to educate my audience for them to understand what is monetization. Why is it important to show up in the online space? What are the different ways that you can make money in the online space? I needed to show them that no, it's not only influencers that can make money online. I work with accountants, I work with lawyers, I work with corporate organizations to show up, to drive sales, to increase traffic into their businesses, into their practices, etc. So because of that, and because there was no other monetization expert, you've got lots of people that talk marketing, lots of people that talk social media, but in terms of monetization itself, I was literally the only one. Therefore, it required me to educate my audience. So in the first year alone, I made a little bit of money here and there, but the majority of the time was seed planting. So don't look at me now making six figures online and think, oh, if I become a monetization expert, I'm going to make six figures next week. No, there is so much groundwork that needs to be done. So that has a very big impact on how quickly you will monetize as well. All right. So really, really think about that. Now, the other thing that you also need to be able to evaluate is your strategy. You may find that you've got a highly monetizable niche, but the strategy that you are following may not be the right strategy. So, for example, I have got a client, and she's got a really brilliant niche within coaching, but she was fixated, Hetty, I want to sell courses. And I'm like, yeah, courses are good. And we tried it, but she wasn't monetizing. We went back to the drawing board and I said to her, you know what? I really think that if we convert your course content into events, you're going to make a lot more money. Because in this area that you are specialized in, people like that physical contact. They like the exchange of energy. They like to share stories among like-minded people. They like to network, etc. So let us take the community that we've already built and instead of trying to funnel them into a course, let's host an event and see what happens. Now, her events are completely sold out. Completely sold out. She didn't change her specialization, but she changed the strategy around her niche. So this is something that's very important. Some people will have a niche, they'll try one or two things, and then they give up and say it doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work, but it might be the packaging that you are using is not resonating with your audience. I always say the way you deliver your product, your service, or your personal brand must be in the manner that gives the greatest level of transformation to your audience. So that could be through events, it could be through courses, paid sponsorships, corporate trainings, whatever the case may be. And that brings me to my final point. Sometimes you are going to need to reiterate many, many, many times before you reach the sweet spot. Some people reach the sweet spot in 3 months. Some people reach it in 6 months. Some people might reach it in 2 years. I'm being dead serious and honest with you. Monetization is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Is it rewarding? Yes. Does it require work? Yes. Does it require it reiterating? Yes. Does it require strategy? Yes. Do you need to show up? Yes, you absolutely do. So it is very important for you to understand and be patient with yourself. It is a business just like any other business. You cannot be married to the original idea that you had for your monetization journey. You must understand that like elastic, it expands, it contracts, and it takes on different shapes. So you have to allow yourself to be agile. Sometimes you may find that what worked last year isn't necessarily working this year. I had a client where we did a masterclass strategy, sold out every single month. This year, we are doing more events for her because that's what people want. So the climate changes, the environment changes. For me, that's what's exciting, because the online space provides so many different ways every single year, new ways to monetize, because as technology grows and expands, so the opportunities to monetize expands. So please make sure that you have an open mind when you decide that, you know what, I am going to leverage the online space. Our objective is to work with you to reach the sweet spot as quickly as possible. But we must be realistic about all the other factors that we have spoken about today to make sure that you have a high probability of being able to monetize. So it's a long answer to answer what or how long does it take to monetize. But these are the factors and the variables that are at play. I've got clients, you can ask them, how long have you been working with Hetty? 4 months. How long have you been monetizing? 4 months. There are people like that, but it's not everybody that's like that. And it's important for me to manage your expectations. All right, monetizers, we have reached the end of today's conversation with Hetty. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this conversation. Let me know within the comment section which part of this conversation resonated with you the most. What has your aha moment been? What has your light bulb moment been? What have been the things that you hadn't actually considered that now you're like, okay, Hetty, I get it now. I get it now. Let me know within the comment section, because that's where we continue this conversation. Those of you that are in Cape Town, Conversations with Hetty is coming on the 29th of July. The link is going to be in the description box. Make sure that you get your tickets. I can't wait to see you. And remember, on the 2nd of December is our year-end function in Johannesburg. I'm going to definitely be sharing all of the information in the description box as well. So that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.